The pitch is looped towards shortstop. Provenzale's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. There's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Boston radio personality Lou Blasi.
Hey guys, how's everybody?
Hello, how are you?
Hello. What a handsome crew, very handsome crew. How's everybody doing? My name is Tom Zappola. Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show. My co-host this week, sweet Lou Blasi of DraftKings fame, of Sirius Radio, whatever the hell you did on that fame, all kinds of stuff that Lou does.
Show everybody his sweatshirt now.
Right. Okay. I'm a homie. I admit it. I have become a homie.
There you go.
You guys
got a quarterback. Nice.
We've got a quarterback. We've got a quarterback. So I've become a disciple, and I think Lou's becoming a disciple too. And nobody was a bigger disciple of Tom Brady than Lou Blasi.
No,
Lou,
God,
I think you're coming over.
Oh, I'm trying to contain my excitement. I'm trying to tamp myself down, but he's just so fun to watch.
Guy's a
He's
blast.
such a good guy, as we were talking about. He's just such a good guy too.
Yeah, I mean, people have embraced. New England has really embraced this kid, and let's hope it continues. We've got a great show today. Chuck and Stace, they have a Wheatland Auctions. They have an auction that we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes. Mike Pro from Heritage Auctions is with us for the entire hour. A little later. Man, I tell you, it's my crackers. A little later on, Steve Verkman from Clean Sweep Auctions is going to be joining us towards the end of the show. He has an auction going on. One little programming note that's really not a programming note, but a little message to my two guests. Next week, we have a nice big announcement coming. Joe Orlando is going to be co-hosting the show along with Leighton Sheldon. These two individuals know what the announcement is going to be about, I think. And we're really excited about it. So we'll talk about it next week. Everybody in the hobby, man, everybody in the hobby is part of this project that we're going to be working on.
It's going to be huge.
So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. All right.
Top tier tease right there.
That was a pretty good tease, right? Not bad. Not bad. All right. Chuck and Stace, you guys have a great auction going on. I tell you, man, your auctions are getting better and better. Let's put it that way. You have more items. You have really good quality items. Complete sets. Tell us about it. You got a lot of T206s this time around, I noticed.
Yeah, a lot of T206s, a lot of caramel cards. Have a really nice collection. There's an E96 1910 complete set, all graded. So that's really cool. Tobacco cards include the Thai Cobs. We got some nice caramel cards of Cobb. I really like a W551 Babe Ruth from 1921 that's graded a PSA 7. So a good mix, and there's even Drake May rookie cards. So we like having the good mix. And, for us, we try to stay true to keeping 1 month auctions, give plenty of time for people to jump in, see it, leave bids, and, not trying to overwhelm with the volume of auctions we do in a year. So we're happy with, what we're doing, and just want to have a good platform for people to consign or to bid to find what they're looking for.
You guys, I also know, so you have some complete sets in there, right?
There's
I dream that.
60s complete sets. We even have event worn pants from Mickey Mantle that was part of a Topps promotion, I don't know, like 20 some years ago. It's a good mix of stuff. And then we're also, with our store, we're also very busy this week because Black Friday is the biggest day of the year for us. And from here through the holidays into January,
even beyond,
right, the whole month. And one big thing we do is we do mystery boxes for Black Friday. So people come from 6, 8, 10 hours away on Black Friday because of what we do. You can get a $79 mystery box and get a Mickey Mantle PSA slabbed autograph or a Joe DiMaggio signed photo. So it's a lot of fun. We buy throughout the year just to do that.
This is
Well,
definitely
you know something. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Stace.
I was going to say this is definitely an all hands on deck week for us. We are crazy trying to get prepped and ready for Black Friday, and then also just making sure we're following along with the auction and providing all the support we need for the buyers and the sellers.
You know, it's funny because in the Zappala household, we are really taking advantage of Black Friday. Our washing machine crapped out. And Ellen just bought a new one. Black Friday, got a great deal on it, and they're delivering it on Tuesday. So she's really, really happy. That's all I'm saying. Michael, by the way, jump in here, Mike, anytime you want. Lou, you had a question?
I was just wondering about the balance between cards and memorabilia, and whether does the market drive that for you, or do you try to maintain a specific balance between the two?
Yeah, it depends on what comes in. We help a lot of families or collectors. In this case, there's a couple big collectors that are near retirement or into retirement and ready to sell everything. And some of these people we've been working with for years, and the time is now. We try to do mostly cards, and as most of you know, the cards are what have really appreciated a lot. Where the rarity and scarcity can be there. Where there's a lot of autographs out there. So sometimes we might take the autographs and put them more into the store component. And, if it's a more common autograph memorabilia, but that's a good question. And then have a balance of modern era, highly valuable collectibles and vintage.
I will say that
is there the same division between modern and vintage on memorabilia? Is what it's the same as cards? Are we seeing more and more modern?
I feel like it's a mix. I think when it comes to consignments, it's really dependent on the consignor and the collector, what they come in with. We have been working with several families over the past probably a year and a half with gigantic memorabilia collections that we've been working our way through, where we have had some they have family members where they were just very passionate about sending cards and letters to players for decades, and they've left those collections to family members that we've been sorting through and working through. So it's a lot of work to do that, but we also have seen an incredible amount of interest with the buyers and the bidders in the auction as well.
I noticed that you guys have a lot of non-sports autos, a lot of non-sports autographs. Tell us about that. I mean, you have some really cool stuff. It's like almost like a whole Hollywood collection. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to work through. You can tell amongst our staff who the TV and movie watchers are, because they are readily able to identify the actors and actresses. Some of us have no idea who some of these people are. But it's been a lot of fun. Again, we've been working with several families who have had lifelong autograph collectors, and so it's been a lot of fun and sorting through a lot of things that we're not sure who it is to find those treasures that kind of appear sometimes.
Prov, have you ever been involved with that part of the business at Heritage? The non-sports part of it. Is your hands in everything, or are you
Yeah, we have a great entertainment department, and I'm an auctioneer, so I call a lot of their auctions. That part of the industry has really started to see a lot of crossover from sports collectors going over there, and people that were in entertainment crossing over to sports. And I just think it's because there's a lot more younger people coming into the industry, and just like with athletes, they want to collect who they see. And it's the same with pop culture. I mean, they're getting influencers sign stuff that there are collectors for that. I think it's great. I think the blurring of the lines between the collecting disciplines is great for everyone involved.
Both Chuck and Stacy, you guys have done wonders with your little video vignettes and snippets. They're awesome, man. They really are. Tell us about that. That really has evolved. I mean, the first couple were really, compared to what you're doing now, I mean, they really evolved quality-wise, production-wise. Tell us about that. Who's your cameraman? Who's your producer?
I hate to take credit for all of it, but I am the cameraman. I am the producer. I am the finder of the social media things that we're going to do. And I have a staff who humors me in doing them. Sometimes they give me a hard time, but ultimately they will all participate. But it's been a lot of fun. We enjoy it, and sometimes we feel really silly. But we actually have people that will come in the door and say, like, they have driven a couple hours to meet us because
Absolutely.
they see our social media things. Which
Absolutely.
But
And do you write, because some of the scripts are really funny. I
Yeah,
mean, do you
I
write the scripts?
I do. Yeah.
So Chuck, all you do is you get paid the big money to act.
Yeah, she tells me what to do, what to say, and I do it.
He's my hardest one to get to participate. If somebody's going to say no, it's usually him. But
That just brings the face, right?
That's right. That's right.
The face for radio.
Personality.
Exactly.
There you go. All right. So what are some of the other? We have a few minutes left. What are some of the other highlights of the auction?
I think there really is a massive amount of bulk autographs from a couple big collections. One of them was somebody who sent through the mail for many decades, so you can get bulk signed cards and index cards. And then the other is a lot of the entertainment stuff that we talked about. And there was one other thing I guess we wanted to announce is December is the first episode of the new TV show. Yeah. So we've been involved with the Card Life for
you told me that. That's
for
right.
years. And in December, a brand new show airs called Hobby House. That's going to follow us, mainly be filmed here. The January episode, which will be episode 2, will be 100% from us at the National Sports Card Convention. So it'll be a lot of behind the scenes deals, what goes on.
And people can stream it, right?
Yeah, people will be able to stream it, but it's also on all regional sports networks pretty much. So if you're up in New England, it'll be on the New England Sports Channel.
It'd be Nesson. It would be on Nesson.
Yeah, Nesson has picked it up on all their channels. Where we live, we get Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore regional sports channels. So each channel decides when to air it, but they've all picked it up. It'll even be in California. So we're excited. And, we want to tell the story about collectors. Thank you. And show a lot of the stories about, the collectors and the value of a local card shop and what happens there,
Okay, before we let you go, you guys going to be at the Philly show?
No.
Oh, you're not?
No. No, we used to do that all the time. Now we're really focused. The main shows we do are the National and Fanatics Fest.
So every once in a while you'll set up at Philly, but it's not a consistent thing.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking because we're going to be broadcasting from there this year. We'll be in Philly. All right, listen, your website address is
www.wheatlandauctionservices.com. Auction is currently up and running, and this auction will begin closing Sunday evening, December 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Fantastic. All right, you guys, if I don't talk to you, have a great Thanksgiving, great Christmas, and just keep up the good work. You guys are a real credit to the hobby. You guys have done a great job. Very well respected also.
Thank you so much.
Great to see everyone.
Yes.
All right, guys, take care. Chuck and Stace from Wheatland Auctions. Pro, you're looking good, brother.
I'm working from home, so I'm sleeping late. And
now, why is that? COVID or something? Just
no, my kids are home, so I'm keeping an eye on them while working. It's a great era we live in. I'll say that.
You're kidding me? I'm up on my 3rd floor office. I don't have to sit across from Lou.
Yeah.
And Louis is about 15 miles from me right now.
Michael,
Mike, I know, really. Michael, do you? How far are you from the office?
I'm about an hour from the office.
Are you really?
So I'm in Dallas, where our home office is, our world headquarters, which is right by the south exit of DFW Airport. Right after the pandemic started, we moved from downtown Dallas to that location. We were in a tall building and all the floors were separated, but now we're in this huge campus-like complex. It's pretty amazing. It's one hallway that goes, I think 250,000 square feet.
Wow.
And as you walk down the hallway, here's sports, here's comics, here's jewelry, here's fine art, here's trading card games, and you never know what you're going to see just walking down the halls. I've been walking down the halls to get a snack and had go buy me dinosaur skeletons, a Nobel Peace Prize, Andy Warhol art. And then we have a gallery that essentially it's a museum that switches over every week. Each department gets a week, and it's just a rotating schedule.
So do you have is it open to the public? Does the public come in?
Public can come into the gallery, and we have events there, and we have live auctions every day, 2 or 3 every day, I'd say. So it's pretty busy, but that public part is open to the public. This week it was we had our guitar department and musical instruments department had an auction. So they had a bunch of instruments and guitars.
Lou's loving this.
Oh, God. And Tom and I were talking before the show. I went to the website and I was just amazed. It was like, I was thinking that must be the funnest place in the world to work, because there's just everything there. And as you said, walking down the hall, God knows what you're going to see, what's going to walk by your door. I mean, it must just be amazing working there.
It's a lot of fun. It's working there is like Christmas morning. You're right. You never know what you're going to see. The other day I was talking to a client in the gallery, and some media people came in, and our comics department brought in the 9.0 Superman #1 that just sold for $9.2 million, set the record for a comic. And the client I was talking to wasn't even a comics person, but he asked if he could see it because it was right there, and he took his picture with it. And then 2 days later, it sold for over $9 million.
Unbelievable. So, Michael, any chance that you're ever going to get down to your Palm Beach location?
That is in the works for the spring. I think I'll be there in April for an event. I'm looking forward to it. I have yet to be there.
Yeah, it's too bad because we leave this year. We're leaving like the first week of April, but it's literally 10 minutes from my condo.
So did you set that up to leave right when I get there?
Well, I thought you would be there maybe in March. I mean, you could come down a week early, and Rico and I would love to take you out to lunch and have some fun with you guys. That'd be awesome. And by the way, it's a beautiful, beautiful facility. It really is, and it's in a prime location. It's right there in the heart of West Palm Beach. Beautiful, beautiful
Texas,
location.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
We've started having events there now, so they'll do previews there. They've had a few art events. We had a sports event last year. So if you live in that area, you should.
Beautiful area. Yeah, Louis, it's a block from City Place. It's it's not called City Place anymore, but yeah, it's just a block from it. Just beautiful, beautiful building and location. Pro, if you get the winter auction catalog, it's just amazing the items that you guys just keep coming up with. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Tell us about some of the stuff that's going into the winter cat. Can you tip us off a little bit?
Yeah, so it just opened for bidding at ha.com yesterday. The catalogs are printing right now. In our office, we also have a giant print room. We print all our own stuff. But it's a remarkable auction. We had the Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant logo man, the 2007 logo man, over the summer that set a record for a sports card.
Right.
And now we have the first Kobe and MJ dual logo man from the 2003 Exquisite. It opened for bidding yesterday, and it's at $780,000 already. So looking very eager to see what that does. And then, of course, we have great vintage material. There's some great Ohtani items. We have his 55th home run ball from this season, the Dodger home run record. Interesting note there, Ohtani is the only player to ever hit exactly 55 home runs. That's something I picked up from this catalog.
That's interesting.
But
hey, Louis, that's a great thing. That Superman thing, $9,120,000. Pretty cool.
Smashing the record, which we held for a comic at, I believe, $6.4 million. That one had a great story behind it. Some brothers, their mother passed, and they were cleaning out her attic. And in a box of old magazines and newspapers, they found that comic. It's the highest graded example, and now it's the most valuable comic in the world.
So was it theirs before, or her mother had it? Their mother had it for some reason.
The mother had it the whole time. She was a collector, and there was there was a few other comics in there, which I believe will be selling as well. But this was the crown jewel. So,
Awesome.
We have the biggest comics department in the world. I grew up a comics fan as well, so I'm frequently in that department. My favorite thing they sell is the original comic art that was used to make the comics, and I love seeing that. Those are true.
Just a little side story, Lou. I don't know if I've ever told you this story. I grew up in the city of Lawrence, Mass, an industrial city, heart of Massachusetts, and next door to us, there was this family. His name was Paul Loretta, and Paul Loretta, he used to hang around with us, and his father was an artist. And he told us that his dad was one of the original, if not the original artist that designed Superman's costume.
Oh, wow.
And we used to bust his chops. You're such a liar. How can you make up stuff? And because they had moved, he says, "I'm not kidding." Sure enough, I recently looked his dad up, and his dad, Paul Loretta Sr., I think he was the guy that originated it or drew it originally. Pretty cool stuff.
We should get them in touch with our comics department.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, listen, Mike Prove is in the house. We're going to take a quick break. Michael's here for the rest of the show hour. When we come back, it's going to be another crackerjack moment. So hang in there, and we shall return.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we are back, and Mike Provenzale from Heritage Auctions is in the house. Lou Blassi's in the house with myself, Tom Zappola. All right, it's time for another Crackerjack moment. Now, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we got a phone call, Ellen and I, from our book distributor warehouse, and they found 4 cases of our Crackerjack book, the Crackerjack Collection, Baseball's Prize Players. They stumbled upon 4 cases that we didn't know that were still around. So we drove down to the warehouse. We signed all the books, and we're going to give them away. You can buy them, but you can buy them under cheap. We're going to be doing another Crackerjack moment until they're all gone. I'll be picking certain players that we'll talk about, and you can go to tomzappolamedia.com, and we'll tell you about all that in a second. So it's time for another Crackerjack moment, brought to us by our friend Paul Borges and PV Collectibles. All right, this week we're going to talk about one of my favorite all-time players. This is the only autograph that I have in my entire collection, and that's John Stuffy McGinnis. An excellent defensive first baseman with a .307 lifetime batting average, as well as 2,405 hits over his great 18-season career. John Stuffy McGinnis numbers are better than some current members of baseball's most elite club. Besides being a solid hitter, McGinnis was one of the best defensive first basemen in the game. In 1921 with the Red Sox, he committed only 1 error in 1,651 chances over 152 games, and his 1,300 errorless chances at first base set a league record. To top that, between May 31st, 1921 and June 2nd, 1922, he raised the bar with 1,700 chances without an error over 163 games. These records would stand until 2007. Nicknamed during the minor league days when fans would shout out, "That's the stuff, kid," after his sensational plays, McGinnis was signed by Connie Mack when he was only 18 years old. As first baseman for some of the great Ace team, he was part of the famed $100,000 infield along with Eddie Collins, Home Run Baker, and Blackjack Barry. Over his storied career, McGinnis played on 5 pennant-winning teams and 4 World Series champs. Offensively, his best year was in 1912 when he batted .327 for the A's. But McGinnis had some other great years, batting .315 for the Braves and .307 for the Red Sox. All in all, he batted over .300 on 12 different occasions, but is known more for his excellent fielding at first base. His one-handed style combined with the knee reach and use of the new claw-type first baseman's glove was cutting edge at the time. McGinnis ended his pro career with an unsuccessful 1-year stint as manager of the Phillies. He later coached baseball at Norwich University and Cornell before moving on to coach 6 seasons at Harvard. In our opinion, John Stuffy McGinnis should be a candidate for the Hall of Fame. Cooperstown should take a hard look at this guy. As a matter of fact, he was given close consideration when we came up with our Crackerjack All-Star team, but was nosed out by Jake Daubert, another guy who belongs in the Hall. And that's another T206 moment.
You guys can go to tomzappalamedia.com for the Crackerjack Collection / to order your copy of the Crackerjack Collection, Baseball's Prize Players. It's a great book. Will give you a glimpse into the personal and professional lives of the players in this iconic collection. That's Crackerjack Collection. It's on sale now at 30% off the regular retail price at tomzappalamedia.com / Crackerjack Collection. You brought it up, Tom. The thing is, as I looked at this year's Hall of Fame ballot, which really pissed me off, by the way, there's only 2 players on the Hall of Fame ballot right now that should be in ahead of Stuffy McGinnis. It's insulting that he's not in when you see the players that are on this year's ballot.
I know that it's frustrating because and Jake Daubert's another thing too. I mean, you're a vintage guy, Pro. Aren't there so many guys, vintage guys, that played the game that have great numbers that just for whatever reason got bypassed?
Well, I think the standards for getting in were a lot more stringent back then.
Yeah.
I think it's a little easier to get in now. And, that's good. They want more players to be celebrated, but they should do a better job of going back to the old timers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At least the, what do they call the historic board, whoever does it. I mean, they should really go back and take a hard look at some of these players because I think it's just, tragic that some of them got bypassed. And then you get some today, you look at Louis Tiant's numbers and then look at Ted Lyons' numbers. Louis Tiant's number and Catfish Hunter's numbers, the same thing. Yep. Louis Tiant's numbers are actually better than both of those guys, but, I guess it is what it is.
High-level nickname, Stuffy.
Great name. I told you that's honestly the only autograph that I have in my little case in my bar area.
As Tom knows, he was a very local guy to us. He was on Cape Ann, raised on Cape Ann, played in Haverhill, played in Beverly, played up
local
there.
Local guy.
Course record at an Ipswich Country Club, by the way.
Did he really? and here's another one, Louis. Here's another. I talk about Jake Daubert a lot too, right? Yeah. He's buried in West Newbury. So they both players were local.
In Manchester. I think Stuffy's buried in Manchester, right?
Yeah, I can't remember, but he was a hell of a player, man. Hell of a player.
But you guys, I'm a small hall guy, and it literally got me angry looking at this year's Hall of Fame ballot. It's bad enough Harold Baines and Scott Rowland are in the Hall of Fame, and Barry Bonds isn't. And as much as I dislike Barry Bonds, he's got to be in the Hall of Fame. Kurt Schilling isn't. Mark McGuire isn't, but those guys are in. But you look at some of the names. I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous. It's insulting.
It really is. It really is. But hey, you're preaching to the choir. I totally 100% agree with you.
But we are going to get Rose and Shoeless Joe are going to be in.
Well, see, at least that was a good thing that happened. And I think who else is in that crew? Is not Buck Ewing. I can't remember. There's a couple of other guys that are
Black Sox.
Yeah, that are in that crew that could get in.
Rose should be in. He should be suspended, and he got his lifetime ban, and he served it. And I wouldn't. My whole feeling about that all along is if the Hall wanted to break from baseball and put him in, I wouldn't have a problem. But he can't work in baseball. He broke the cardinal rule. He just did.
Yeah.
I agree 100% that he served his sentence, and they don't get the benefit of being alive while they're in the Hall of Fame. That's the punishment, but it shouldn't be a punishment that lasts for infinity. They're worthy of inclusion. They did their time and they should be in so people can celebrate their career.
Yep. So anyways, you can go to Tom Zappala Media. It's a great book. It really is. We won the Ben Franklin Award silver medal for that book.
Not to brag, but I have a signed copy of that book at my desk at work.
Well, I'm glad you do, Pro. Thank you. I appreciate it. John Mallory wrote that book with Ellen and I. Look, I don't know if you know this, Pro, but the very first book that we came out with, the T206 collection, which kind of set the tone for all of our book series, Lou co-wrote that with Ellen and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I bet he did most of the work.
That was such a blast.
That was fun. Yeah. Lou Lou did that book with Ellen and I. All right, listen, let's get back to heritage. What are some of the other items, man? I mean, you got so many of them. You got a mantle jersey. You got some high grade 52 mantles. Do you have did I see a PSA 10 Jordan rookie card in there, or did I dream that?
That is correct. We have the PSA 10 Jordan rookie. We have a signed Jordan rookie for you guys. We're very excited. We have a Larry Bird game-worn jersey that's been photo matched to 6 games in the 1987 playoffs. As I'm sure you guys know, those cheesecloth 80s Celtics uniforms are really hard to photo match, but we got definitive photo matches for that. So I'm very excited to see what that does. But probably the most thrilling thing we have is the Golden Age collection, which we displayed at the National.
Can you tell us about that? I mean, I'm going to learn. I'm going to make a point of learning about it. But can you tell us a little bit about that?
I've never seen anything like it. People like Joe Orlando, Rob Rosen, Dan Imler have never seen anything like it. And those are hobby lifers. It is the collection of one person who lived in the New York area. They collected in the late 40s through the 50s. They would get complete sets, all sports, football, basketball, baseball, and boxing, and then got the players to autograph every card in the complete set the year the set came out. So he has the 1948 Mikan rookie autographed by Mikan when he was a rookie. He has the Mantle 51 Bowman rookie autograph, 52 Topps Mantle, 52 year. So complete sets, all those sports through the 40s and 50s, all autographed from the era when the cards came out.
How does someone do that?
So he was one of the first autograph chasers. He was very dedicated and very, very patient. He, of course, went to the stadiums, living in New York. All the teams would come through New York. But he also had sources that told him where the players' hotels were, where what bars they frequented, what restaurants they went to.
So he was a stalker, basically.
Yes. And the players started to remember him because, nobody was getting cards autographed back then. So it was very unusual. They remembered that. And he was getting them every year. So, he has 8 Ted Williams signed cards.
It's crazy.
Run through there. And, these players would remember him because every year he'd be coming back and he'd have the newest edition of their card and get them to sign it. He formed a lot of relationships with players. And because they knew him and because they were aware of the project, they took a lot of extra time with where they signed. So the autograph location is superb on each one. All the autographs are on the top end as far as quality. And it's got, the biggest stars, Jackie Robinson, Joe Louis, Doak Walker, on down to guys you've never even heard of. But if they were in the set, he got their card autographed in the year it came out. So it is an unbelievable collection. We're calling it the Golden Age collection.
So when is that going up?
So the first salvo is in the auction we just launched. So there's about 150 cards. The entire collection is hundreds and hundreds of cards. So we'll be selling it over many months. But the first 150 are open for bidding now at ha.com. And it's a nice range. So it's got all 4 sports represented. You've got the high-end ones, 52 Topps Jackie Robinson, the Willie Mays rookie signed when he was a rookie, the Mantle rookie signed when he was a rookie. But then also on down, there's some that are $2,000 to $3,000 cards as well. So people who collect vintage autographs, who are trying to complete autograph card sets, God bless those people. This is going to be a great example. And all of them are at the top of the population as far as autograph quality. And there's many that are the only known example. Some of those guys that only played a year or two or died early, or the obscure guys. These are the only known examples.
Pro, I'm assuming that the consigner, is he passed on?
So the consigner passed the collection on.
Right. Okay.
To his nephew. The nephew is remaining anonymous.
Yeah.
but he has shared a lot of the stories from when the collection was put together that we'll be sharing on our social media as we move towards the auction closing date, which will be December 19th through the 21st.
Mike, we had a conversation, I think it was last week, about Ted Williams autographs, and the more vintage, the more valuable they are, because Ted Williams was just pumping out autographs in the end there. How do you go about authenticating the fact that those cards were signed in the player's rookie year, things like that? What's the process there?
So 2 factors there. We had PSA grade and authenticate all the cards. And for players that had different autograph variations, they will note that it's from the period era when the card came out. And, we rely on their expertise. But then we know from the story from our consignor how the collector, he'd put the set together and then take it out and get it all autographed. He had his binder with all the cards in order, and he'd see a player, he became very good at recognizing all these players from all these sports and knowing where they would be. So it's cool to see how players' autographs change. It's a amazing experience to look at. You've got the fifth for Mantle, but you've got 51 Bowman, 52 Topps, 53 Topps, 53 Bowman, 52 Bowman, all the way up to 57. And you can see his autograph changes a little bit until it gets to that later year where it kind of set in where it was. And it's the same thing for Mays and Ted Williams and Jackie Robinson. It's unbelievable. We've been poring over this collection since the National. We had it on display at our booth. I would say it was one of the most popular items at the show. But we're very excited to finally be launching the auction and giving collectors a chance to own some of these gems.
No, let's just say
a lot of time.
I'm sorry.
You guys spend a lot of time with the story behind the collection, because as valuable as this collection is, the story behind it just makes it that much more. It seems to make it more valuable. Do you find that that's the case in an auction?
Definitely. Yeah. As with that Superman comic that we were talking about, I think the great story of its discovery in an attic certainly contributed to that record price. And it's the same thing with sports collectibles. And we tell consigners this all the time, especially we get a lot of people that inherit collections from a family member or a parent. They aren't into collecting, and they think about how their parent or their family member collected it and what a big part of their life it was, and those stories. And we tell them those stories are going to continue because the people who buy it, they want to keep telling those stories. And that's how it is with this collection. There's a lot of great anecdotes with these players, because, when he's getting them autographed the year they came out, when he was having Mickey Mantle sign the Bowman in 51, he wasn't Mickey Mantle. He was just a rookie. And same with all these guys. They started off their career. It wasn't like it is now where when a rookie comes into the league, everybody's watched their high school or college videos or minor leagues. Everybody's familiar with their statistics. Back then, that information just was not readily available or public. So when the team rolled out new guys, it was just a name on the lineup until you got to see them play. So he got to see these guys. He was getting their autographs, interacting with them when they were just trying to make their bones and make it in the league, all the way up until they were becoming soon to be Hall of Famers.
Prov, how big is your consignment backlog? I mean, you guys never run out of stuff.
That's true. We turn stuff around pretty quickly. I'd say once we get material, depending on if it needs to be graded or authenticated or sent out, it's going to be up for auction in a few weeks. But we have a lot of streams. So we have a big staff. We attend almost every show. We do our own appraisal events, and we give free appraisals on anything across any department. So a lot of material comes in that way. I run our social media pages for sports. We get dozens of inquiries for appraisals every day there. Some that are looking to sell, some that are just want to know what they have. If they have something valuable, they found it in an estate sale or a garage sale, and they want to know if it's worth holding on to. But yeah, and we have a lot of great clients that are already in our repertoire. And what we've seen really is we have over 50 departments at Heritage. So we have the biggest collectors in the world in every collecting discipline. And there's a lot of people that are those lines are blurring, and maybe they've always collected coins their whole life, but now they taken an interest in sports or comics or fine art. And we're a great place to move from discipline to discipline. And the great thing is that we have so many experts in each department. Talking about walking around our offices and seeing all the incredible items, really the greatest asset we have is all of our experts. We have the biggest experts in every form of collecting.
Including Derek, by the way.
Well, I wasn't talking about Derek, but other than him, I have had lunch with the greatest minds in comic collecting and coin collecting. Craig runs our natural history department. I've talked to him for a long time about dinosaur bones and meteors, all the way down to our video game department. We have the greatest minds in that. So you get to pick their brains, find out what is important to those collectors, but you also see what's so similar between what I do and what people who collect VHS tapes do. We're all collectors. We may have different interests, but there is that underlying theme of, rarity and what interests you and grading and things like that. So it truly is a fascinating place to work. And it's great to see the items, but I love picking the brains of all my coworkers too.
Who's the Pokemon expert, Mike?
Jesus Garcia is my go-to for that. He's amazing. We have our own, we used to, years and years ago, we sold Pokemon in the sports department, which was not my expertise. We did have a guy for it back then. But then it became so big, it spun off into its own department that we call trading card games. And they do Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and all that. But those guys are a lot of fun. They're very young. I'll say that. You go into our coin department. I go into our coin department to make me feel young. But when I go into the Pokemon department, that's when I feel old.
Hey, Michael, before we take a break, relative to, you mentioned that you guys do appraisals. Mm-hmm. Do you guys, like yourself and Derek and Joe or Dan, do you guys ever go out to, like, for instance, I don't know, if there's an event, like someone creates an event to say, hey, look, if we want to have you guys in to do an appraisal, do you guys do that? Travel to do an appraisal for like a road, like an antiques roadshow type setting, but just heritage?
We set up those events that are exactly like the Antique Roadshow. We do a lot in our home office in Dallas, but we do them at all our satellite offices too, which we have offices throughout the U.S. and around the globe.
So you don't do them off-site other than on your own properties?
No, we'll do them off-site as well. Tony Giese just did an appraisal at the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame last week. We do them at card shops all the time. Card shops will have us come out and we'll send a couple experts. And, our other departments do the same thing as well. Comics department, our luxury and jewelry and timepieces department. What I say to people is try to find an item that you can stump us. With 55 departments, multiple experts in every department, I highly doubt there's an item out there that is going to leave us scratching our head with not knowing what it is or what it's worth.
Very cool. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Prove's in the house for one more segment. I think Steve Verkman from Clean Sweep is supposed to join us. Steve's a good guy. He's got an auction going on. So we're going to take a quick break, and we shall be right back.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucy'slovebus.org for more information.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you are a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on their tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden Auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Are you a collector looking for that rare trading card or autograph ball or photo? If so, then PB Collectibles in Newport is the place for you. PB Collectibles has graded cards, raw cards, complete sets, and wax boxes of the stars of the future, today, and from the past. We also offer a large selection of both vintage and modern cards. So whether you're looking to add to your collection or sell it, visit us at PB Collectibles, 269 Spring Street in Newport, located across from St. Mary's Church. We are your neighborhood card shop and much more.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
Okay, we are back. Mike Prove's in the house. No Steve Berkman, Louis, huh?
No Steve Berkman right now.
He's MIA, I think.
MIA.
Well, you know something? It happens.
He's always busy, so.
I know he is. Talk about a busy guy between that and Leland's. Hey, Lou, why don't you tell our viewers about the Philly show?
The Philly Show returns December 12th through 14th at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks, celebrating 50 years of connecting collectors, athletes, and fans. Shop over 600 dealer tables across 150,000 square feet of sports cards, memorabilia, sealed products, collectibles, an expanded Pokemon and TCG section, which now has over 100 tables, from vintage to favorites to the latest releases. Grading and authentication companies will be on site along with major sports auction houses for submissions, valuations, and appraisals. Kids 10 and under are free with a paid adult, and active duty military and veterans receive half off admission with proof of service. And don't miss our community trade nights happening Friday and Saturday night. Open tables, great energy, and collectors trading with collectors all night long. Now the autograph lineup with more guests to be announced. Meet current Philadelphia Eagle stars Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship, and Brandon Graham. Philly stars and legends of the past Cole Hamels, Larry Bower, and Lenny Dykstra. Baseball Hall of Famers Vlad Guerrero Sr., Edgar Martinez, Eddie Murray, Tony Perez, Alan Trammell, and Dave Winfield. NBA Hall of Famers including Dennis the Worm Rodman and Dominique the Human Highlight Reel Wilkins. Jerome the Bus Bettis will also be appearing, and last but not least, the one and only Rico Petroselli will be meeting fans and signing autographs on Saturday, December 13th.
Rico will be there.
Yeah,
we're looking
as
forward
will
to
Heritage Auctions. Derek Grady and Lee Iskowitz will be there.
Yeah, we're going to, Derek's going to join us. Joe Tomasulo's going to join us. We're going to have some fun with those guys. We're going to do a 90-minute show. I think on stage, there's some kind of a stage that they have set up. And actually, I think it's going to be simulcast to iHeartRadio. So it's going to be fun.
Nice.
Also, before we get back to Michael, let's talk about our good friends at Finkelmeyer Insurance. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting in Tom Jr., the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Company. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting. With a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management, Tom covers every aspect of your collectible insurance needs. Unlike some of the companies that sell collectible insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide, representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance. There's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance. Our good friend and hobby legend, John Torby of JT Sports, has been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information, go to thefia.com, thefia.com. That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is their passion. You know, I was looking at a list of the eBay all-time most graded pre-1981 sports cards. Do you have any idea what number one is? What would you guess of the most graded pre-1981 graded sports cards, what's number one? I was
Ricky
like,
Henderson rookie.
right. Mikey, I'm impressed with that. I didn't realize.
So that's a true anomaly. I believe there's almost 25,000 that PSA is graded.
60. Oh yeah, no. PSA is graded 46,000. 46,275. SGC 11,975. BGS 7,013, and CGC 1,129 for a total of 66,392. That's mind-boggling.
Well, he's so popular, and that set was readily available. The amazing thing there is I believe PSA only has 21 10s for a 1980s card, which is remarkably low.
Why so few? Is this just the way the cards were manufactured?
Poorly manufactured.
Were they really?
In fact, a couple years ago, we had a guy that I believe is a storage locker buy, but he had, I want to say 8 dozen unopened cases of 1980 tops. We popped them all open, got every Ricky Henderson graded, no 10s, and there was like 3 9s. Almost all of them 7 and 8s.
Interestingly enough, in this number 2, I could see was
number 2
Ryan.
is no surprise whatsoever.
Yeah, number 2 is a Ryan Koosman rookie. You know, that's kind of okay. I could, but number 3, what would you think? Number 3 all-time graded card pre-1981. In a million years, I would never guess this. Football.
It's not the Namath, is it?
Walter Payton.
Oh, okay.
The 1976 Walter Payton's 28,321 grades. PSA 17,000 of them. Crazy
That's
stuff.
in the 10 also.
Is it really?
Yes.
Interesting.
George Brett on that list from 75, and then of course the mantle cards from 66. That's just rarity, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
rarity because there aren't that many of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, Prov, what are some of the other items, man? This auction is like crazy.
We have 2 really great game used gloves, which for game worn material gloves rarely come up, and they're hard to authenticate. But they're so cool because they're so personal to the players, and generally they use them for an entire season. So we have a 1956 Sandy Koufax game used glove, used the entire season. That was the last Dodgers pennant in Brooklyn was that year, and his second year. And then we have a Willie Mays game used glove, which when you get one that's from a player that's famous for flashing the leather, it's always exciting and cool to see. That Willie Mays glove is from 1965, which was his MVP season. And, like any good game worn item, you can really see the usage, but especially in gloves. And it's got the customizations and, thinking about Willie Mays running around in the outfield with that glove on his hand for the entire season and winning the MVP. That's a spectacular piece. And we just see game used gloves so rarely.
Pretty cool.
What's the dynamic between vintage and modern on that level? Because we just had the discussion about the 2 home run balls from Game 7, and I was thinking about Cal Raleigh's 60th home run ball. How's the modern market and how modern memorabilia, game use stuff, how is that working?
It's doing great. 10, 15 years ago, modern stuff, it was desirable, but it wasn't getting great prices. It was all the money was on the vintage side. But in the last 5 to 7 years, so many young people have come into the hobby and they want to collect players that they're watching right now. And even people that are coming into the industry that are new, even if they're our age, they still like collecting players that are playing now. So, and it's prices that are high for what modern is. But those Ohtani home run balls, those are astronomical prices.
I was going to say Ohtani's going to be driving it because he's going to be in the pantheon. I mean, you just know his place in baseball history is set.
Right.
Overrated.
It's like if the collecting hobby was what it is now when Babe Ruth was playing.
Yeah.
People would be throwing crazy money at his uniforms and bats. They wouldn't have been disposing of them. So everything he touches, especially from these last 2 years, has been astronomical price.
And that's exactly what's going to happen to Roman Anthony in the next 2 years.
Well, the cool thing is there's, part of it is speculation, but you see some great prices for rookies.
Right.
When a rookie comes in and they're hot, people get excited about it. And, they want to go ahead and invest in that player. And, it's riskier because, the guys whose career are established, like Ohtani and Trout and players like that, that's the safer bet. But, that's an exciting aspect of it that's helping the hobby flourish as well. It's kind of like gambling, which has also become far more widespread. But, you see a hot rookie or somebody you think that like Cooper Flagg that's coming in and people think, oh, well, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I want to start getting his jerseys or his autograph or his cards. And maybe it pans out, maybe it doesn't. But, that's part of the excitement of collecting is being a fan and following somebody for their career and hoping it pans out.
His name is Mike Provenzale, Heritage Auctions. Mike, when does the auction end?
So it's open right now at ha.com, and it'll close December 19th through 21st over 3 nights. We've got the cards the first night, then the memorabilia night 2 on Saturday the 20th, and then a final session with both on Sunday the 21st.
Any openings down there? I want to come work down
there.
Yeah, really.
I'll tell you what, we are hiring. We are always looking for memorabilia and card experts, catalogers. Always.
Wait a minute, Louis, isn't your cousin? Where's your cousin?
He's in Austin.
He's in Austin. Okay.
Georgetown, actually, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, we love you. By the way, folks, don't forget, next week, Joe Orlando, Mike's compadre, is going to be joining us.
That's high-level stuff right there. When you get to Orlando.
Nah, he's not. Trust me. Joe's a good man. Joe knows. Joe, I put Joe. We've talked about this in the past. I have him close to being on the Mount Rushmore of this hobby.
I've got him on there, and I knew him for years before he worked at Heritage, and he was always just the nicest guy. And I thought that's just an act. Nobody can be that nice all the time, especially when you were president at PSA and people are always complaining about grades and authentication.
Yeah, sure.
Like, he's just a great marketer, great PR guy, but no, he is actually that
legit.
nice all the time. It's unbelievable.
Joe is legit, man. We love the guy. He's we've been close now for a lot of years. So, and he was a big. Joe was the guy that was instrumental for us, for Ellen and I, kicking off this whole thing. I mean, he was the guy. If it wasn't for Joe, I'd be writing, fiction. Anyway, with that being said, Mike, thanks a lot. We appreciate you coming on. Good luck with the rest of the auction. And if we don't talk to you, have great holidays with your family. God bless you.
Pleasure, guys. And you guys have a great holiday too.
All right. We're just about out of time. To our viewers and listeners, as always, we thank you. Louis, great job. Special thanks to the Wismans. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened to Steve Verkman, MIA. But with that being said, happy collecting.